Okay, here we are. We're back. It's another week of the project. As you may have noticed, there was no video last week. It's because so little was done that I didn't bother to make a video. I just wrote a short paragraph. But this week, I'm going to show off what I did last week and also this week. It's mostly just been researching body styles to figure out what I want to do. So I've got this big document. It's like 22 pages, I think, of just different photos of like 15 body styles or something that I handpicked, and then some pros and cons for each body. So I'm going to start off down my list here with the Les Paul. I said it was easy, recognizable, and it was a solid base. So if I go find a photo right here, it's like a very iconic guitar. It's one of the guitars, and there's like not too much going on, so it'd be pretty easy to work on and find something to do with if I wanted to make it more interesting. But I said it's basic, it's boring, and it's definitely been done before. It's just not the most interesting. And then the Strat, I said was iconic, easy to work with, and simple, but it definitely has been done before, has a couple nasty curves, and may require extra parts. So if I come up and find a photo of one somewhere, right here, it's another one of the guitars, and some of the nasty curves I'm talking about, they aren't super visible in the photo, so I'll show them on this. There's this divot here that makes, it's like for ergonomics, and then there's also a bit of a slope right here that I think would just sort of be a pain to try and replicate. And I feel like a Strat isn't complete unless it has the trem, which is this system right here. It's like the bridge. So I would need to get a new bridge. I don't know that I want to do that, at least yet. So, and then next is the Flying V. I said it was funky, has good angles, it had a unique shape without much hassle, but it's dated. It could use a bit more going on and may require extra parts. So this is a photo of one. It's got this shape, but this isn't like a hard shape to recreate. It doesn't have any silly curves that it throws at you. And if I can find a photo of an older one somewhere, I believe just up here. Yeah, sometimes it has this bridge here that sort of matches the curve of the guitar. Although you can do it without, so it may require extra parts. Also, the headstock would look a bit off, considering it's not a triangle shape, but that's like not a huge deal. And, funky comes with a cost. It is definitely an older design, and it doesn't, well, it holds up all right. Moving on, we have the Explorer. It's pros where it's uncommon, it's a solid base, and it's an interesting shape. There's a photo of one, and I wouldn't really need any new parts for it. It's sort of interesting. So that's why I put it down. But there's not enough intrigue, and on a similar note, it's a bit lame. And it's also too metal, I think. You've got this big chunk out here that's not really doing much. I also can't imagine that helps with playability at all. And I just associate it with a lot of metal, which isn't a bad thing per se, but it's not what I'm looking to do with this guitar. Now we've got the Firebird, which I said was funky, round, and large, but unfortunately it's large, may require advanced skills I don't have, and it's a bit odd. This is that right here. And if I can find some other photos, maybe some better photos somewhere. maybe, nope, maybe. Oh yeah, right here. Um, it's big, which is nice, but that means it'll also be heavy, which isn't so nice. I wouldn't need any new parts for it, which is good, but this would be worrisome. There'd be a lot of digging cavities and stuff, and work with tools that I don't know how to use properly to their full capabilities. Although it's possible that I'm missing a couple of things with this photo. Um, I thought it was a bit funky. Um, it's like a, I think it's a better version of the Explorer, because it's got less sharp edges. At least for like trying to make one, it's a better version. But I mean, do sort of like this shape a bit more than this shape. So, and I think the most important thing to note is I'm really just taking a couple design elements that I like from some of these guitars. I'm not actually going to directly rip any of the styles. Okay. Now on to the Fender Jaguar. It's offset. It's an offset guitar, which is always cool. It's got an interesting pickguard. I'll get a photo up eventually, but it's like, it's two chunks of metal and then like a chunk of plastic. And it's recognizable. But it may need a tremolo bridge. I don't know why I said tremolo supported. It's a bit strange. But it may need a tremolo bridge. Ooh. Where are my photos? My photos are gone. Weird. Oh no, they're still here. Let's see if I have a good one of a Jag somewhere. It looks like I might not. Oh no, here we go. So here's what I was talking about, the two metal chunks and the plastic part of the pickguard. And then this is the tremolo bridge. It's the same thing with the Strat. It's not a necessity, but it would be kind of cool if I was doing that. I said it was not the most interesting, and I may need to have more going on in the electrical department to pull it off. I mean, like, it's sort of interesting, but it's not the most. I think a Strat has a bit more going on. Like, some of these curves are very muted. And I also would need all of this, like the rhythm section controls and the controls for the pickups and the treble cut on all. Like, I don't know what half this does. I've never actually played one of these, so damned if I knew. Yeah, so I don't think I'm going to bother with much from this, other than maybe I'm going to see what I can't do about this sort of split pickguard thing, because I do quite like it. Yeah, so that's the Jag. And then Telecasters. I said they're bluesy, iconic, super easy to do, but they're plain and they're far from unique. If I can find some of my photos of one somewhere in this mess. Where am I going? I'll have photos of it eventually when the document decides to load. Here we go. So yeah, it's like, this would be just so easy to do. There's no funky curves or anything. It's just a super simple guitar. And I mean, like, even with this design that, I don't remember whose guitar this was, but the design that they've got on here, like, it's a great canvas for doing interesting things on. So I definitely think I'm pulling a fair amount from the Telecaster with whatever I make. Okay, here we go. And then the ES335. It's a hollow body, it's jazzy, it's classy. But on the other hand, it's a hollow body, it's large, it's a bit goofy. Yeah, so it's like a really large body. It's hollow, which I don't think I should do for my first guitar project. but like none of these electricals would be very, very difficult to do up, which is a big plus. And I just think the proportions are a bit silly. Like this chunk of the guitar where the sound reverberates in is like massive, compared to the top end of the guitar, and like the more I look at it, the sillier it starts to look to me. So I don't know. I'm not pulling that. I don't think. I hope not. Where are we? Yeah, so that's the 335. And then I also put Masayoshi Takanaka's surfboard guitar in, just because I was looking for interesting things to do. It is a surfboard, it's funky, it's a fun concept. It's like fully just a concept, but it's not feasible, it's too unique, it's like a one-of-a-kind, so this, like, it'd be weird if I were to copy it. Be unoriginal, and it is way too big. I've got some photos up here somewhere of the guitar itself. I mean, it's definitely very funky, but it's really not feasible. And then there's the guy playing it. Yeah, no way. And then Red Special, which was Brian May's guitar. I think it matches my vibe in the sense that, like, it matches what I have going on for this project. The whole building a guitar from scratch. It's very unique, and it wouldn't require new parts, but it couldn't be done without modification. I'm not sure what I meant by that. See if looking at a photo reminds me. Yeah, I really don't know what I meant by that. So I guess I'll forget that note. That's weird. And then it's similarly with the surfboard guitar. I can't, like, there's not much I can pull from this without just ripping off a one-of-a-kind guitar. And then I said it was bordering on not enough intrigue, which, I mean, actually there's a fair amount going on, but it's like, I mean, this whole chunk of body being not filled in, but like, you got the bottom half is all pickguard, and then the top half is there should be more going on, I think. Or things going on differently. And then the final thing here is a Rickenbacker 620, which I said is not often done. I don't think I've ever seen anyone make one. It's very retro, it's funky, but I don't like some of the proportions. I thought they were a bit gross. It lacks a bit on, like, the top half of the guitar, and I definitely would need a different headstock for it. I don't think I could pull it off. But here's some photos. Like, I'm just thinking, like, this is really big compared to this, and so there's just, like, a lot of visual weight over here. And I couldn't make, like, a Strat-style headstock, which is, I think, what I have on that neck. I'd have to go check again, but I believe it's what I have on that neck. I couldn't make it work with this body shape. Yeah. Yeah. So that's really it. I'm gonna use all of this and come up with something over the next week. Yeah. Come up with some kind of body in Inventor, I think, and then the week after that, I believe I source wood. And then we're going to use the CNC router to cut it all up, and yeah, it'll be a thing. So, okay, yeah, I mean, I don't know how to end this. Just, like, I took notes of what I liked and didn't like about some of these standout guitar bodies. yeah, I'm gonna end it there probably. I will be back in a week